Oh yeah.
Hey, it's Matt Malone, and we're back again. Another fresh picked interview for you. Some of the artists that we again play, you do know. Some you're getting to know. This is a way for you to be able to get to know them a little bit better. And an artist that we actually played here a couple weeks back. I'll be honest. I listened to the song specifically because of his name, and we'll explain that here in a second. Jon Wayne Hatfield's joining us. Jon, how you doing, man?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great. But Jon Wayne Hatfield. So obviously, you've got two legendary names in your name, Jon Wayne, and then the Hatfields, and you know we know all that stuff. So kind of an interesting story about the name side of things because you never actually went by your middle name.
I've never heard my middle name in my life before I started the music industry. Man, my grandma was the one who raised me, so like she was into westerns, and my name's Jon Wayne, and my little brother, his name's Jesse James, man, and it was a crazy thing. We never heard our middle names even used before until like I started the music, and now everybody wants to call me Jon Wayne.
So you must have been good kids then, right? Because otherwise, your middle name would have been used a lot.
Man, I mean, I heard James more than I did Wayne, so.
There you go. Okay. Well, obviously the name side of things, again, I mentioned that was, part of the reason why I'm like, I've got to listen to this song to see what it's about, because a lot of times you hear these kind of, we'll say fake names, pseudonames, stage names, if you will. And you wonder is it just a gimmick or is this something to try to catch your ear? Well, it caught my ear and we're here. So
I get a lot of comments, they're just like, that's a stage name. I'm like, it actually ain't.
It is the real deal. Right. So besides the name side of things, give me a little bit more information about you. So you're originally from Ohio, right?
Yeah, I'm from Goshen, Ohio. It's a little small town up here.
Okay, so you are still located in Ohio, or have you moved to Nashville full time?
Well, I'm just getting my feet wet in this industry. Man, it's a really long process, and with everything going on with COVID, the plan is to move to Nashville within the next year. But like, it's a crazy year. So like, with all the music that I'm doing right now, my producer's down here, and we do all the vocals down here and everything like that. So like, working down here has been a blessing. But yeah, the plan is to move up to Nashville in the next year.
So obviously, it's a really big thing to be able to uproot your life, move to Nashville, try to make it in the music industry. Nashville, 10-year town. I say that in almost every interview that I do, because it's amazing how everybody's story seems to be very similar around that 10 years. Now, some, oddities happen and it happens in 2 years or 3 years or what have you. But, knowing the work, Ed, your producer, has been doing this for some time and kind of, knows a lot of the work that goes in to try to make this happen. What was it for you that said, you know what, I've got to make this happen. I have to go to Nashville if I want to pursue this?
A lot of artists I've seen that I look up to, just they tend, that's where they tend to go. And a lot of people say don't go to Nashville, and a lot of people say go to Nashville. But I just, in my opinion, I just got out of high school last year, and I'm still gaining the ropes on all this music stuff. So like, I can't wait to get down there myself, and it's the plan.
Yeah, and with having feedback from friends or from people on social media, that obviously has to help solidify a little bit of that for you, saying, okay, people are reacting. I mean, your first video that was posted, I don't know if this is the first one or maybe you put one up there before and you took it down, but it had 38,000 views, which was a cover of When It Rains It Pours. So for that, when you see, you put that up there, and then you're like, okay, maybe 5 views, 7 views, 10 views, cool. But when you see it start to hit that number, when you're like, okay, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 15,000, what was that like for you to see that blow up?
Dude, the feeling of a video, even so, when I first got TikTok, I was actually texted and contacted by people that are blowing up right now. If you haven't seen them, the Twatter guys, Blake, I'm good friends with him, and he actually contacted me and told me to get a TikTok. And so when I started it, I wasn't expecting much, man. I was expecting like, like, here, let's go 500 views, like, like that would have been amazing. But then when I put that first video up there, I actually never had a video before that. You're right. And when I saw it go on 1,000, And then, you know, I woke up the next morning, it was at 10, and I was like, wow. I was like, this is something that could change my life. So I just actually started, I constantly worked at TikTok. It was something I just never gave up because I saw potential in it.
Yeah, and obviously driving the social media game right now for the younger generations will say TikTok is such a big useful platform that we're seeing more and more, we'll say almost more established artists getting on board with this. I mean, you've seen Mick Fleetwood, with certain trends on TikTok, and I think you're utilizing it. But 38,000 views is cool. But talk to me a little bit about this video here.
Got my smile that don't bother me a bit. Got somebody else.
So we're going to stop it there. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. But that's a song from LV Shane originally that you decided you're going to take your own spin on and release it. So tell me the story about how you decided to do that, and then 1.1 million views on it. How that felt.
So the whole way it actually happened was, you know, I've been covering My Boy before he even put it out. I saw a YouTube video, and, you know, I actually saw Andrew Janakis. He's a really good buddy of mine, someone I looked up to in music a lot. And but I saw him do a video of it when I was probably about 14 years old or 15 years old, and I've been covering that song ever since. And, you know, when he released it, it was a huge thing, and I had people texting me to cover it and everything like that on TikTok. And I had one girl text me on TikTok, and she was like, "Hey, can you do a girl version? I have a daughter that I took in." I was like, wow. And I forgot about it for a second, but then I went back to my text and I saw it, and I actually did it. And I was heading back from a photo shoot from a song on the album. And I looked at my producer, and he goes, "You need to post about What a Truck For coming out." And I said, "No, I'm going to post this." He just looked at me like, "Bro, focus on the truck." I said, if this blows up, it'll help. So I posted that video, and I had a show the same night. So when I went to the show, I never really logged back on TikTok. And when I got off the show, I noticed that I logged on and it had 100,000, and it just kept going and going. And overnight, you know, it had 400,000. It took a few days to get up to 1 million, but it just kept going. And dude, I'm so thankful for that. And I actually even had the artist contact me and tell me that he loved the cover.
Yeah, and how did that feel for you? I mean, obviously he's still going and progressing in his career, and arguably that song might have actually led to his record deal. How's that feel?
So it felt great to have the artist contact me. It was a real, you know, covering the song for 4 years and having him actually tell me I did a good job on that song was amazing.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that again, solidifying your talent, solidifying what you're doing is going to the right way. We'll say the right audience, if you will. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit more, obviously, about, you mentioned the social media views. You mentioned people reaching out to you. Is there something that, your audience, your fan base has said to you as like a constant theme of, something about you or something that they want you to do? Do you have anything like that?
What do you mean on that?
Well, like, some people say, "Oh man, I love your voice. It's like this," or, "Hey, you've recorded this song and I heard it and it hit me this way."
I've had a lot of people tell me like that I'm able to put a lot of emotion into the songs I sing, and that's just something I always look forward to. Is like, especially when I want to learn a song, I make sure that I can express what he's talking about in the music. So, I get a lot of that, and people love how much emotion I can put into my music.
Yeah. And you write a majority of your songs, if not all of them. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, I love writing, dude. That's my biggest passion is writing. I write a lot of music. I write almost every day, pretty much.
Sure.
I couldn't, sit down and play you all my songs. It's probably too many.
Sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of those songs. The one that stands out is the first one that I heard is, What a Truck Is For, right? Yeah. That is the one that I heard for the first time, and this is a little bit of the hook here. That's what a truck is for. So I want to know from you, with a song like that, thinking about those memories, what was it about that song that said, you know what, I need to record this and I need to put this out for people to hear? Everybody should hear this song.
That song has such a funny story behind it, man. That song was all written off a bet. It was written off a bet, and the story behind that is, I have a really good friend around town here. His name's Nick Morris. He owns Full Diesel Performance. He's a huge truck builder around here. And we were sitting in the garage one night, and he looked at me and said, he goes, I bet you can't write a song about diesel trucks, a good one. And he goes, put my name in it. I said, Nick Morris? You want me to put Nick Morris? He goes, no, Full Spool. And I said, okay, deal. I come back 2 days later with that song, and actually, it wasn't just the fact of winning the bet, but it was also the fact of all the people around me that I sang it to, they could connect with it, especially my brother, because he's a huge car builder and he loves his trucks. And my producer loved it too, so it was just something we wanted to put on the album.
Perfect. I got a challenge. I need you to write a song about a country music morning show. I'm just kidding.
I call it freshly picked, man.
That's right, freshly. If you do that. Okay, so obviously a great story behind that one, but I also hear that the new song that you just released on Friday, you also have a little bit of a story on, and that is favorite song. And this song, here's the hook for that.
Didn't know where we're going, but I knew where I belong. Was right there by your side. Helping you sing your favorite song.
All right, so favorite song, if I'm correct here, is about your first date when you were 16. Is that right? Or a little bit of the inspiration?
It's a little bit of the inspiration. I actually wrote this song when I was 16. I was 16 years old when I wrote this song, and this was a song that I never thought would come back to haunt me in my life. Come back and tell that story one more time.
Yeah.
But when I sang it to my producer, he loved it, and we just got a kick out of it. The song's really about, the scaredness I had before asking a girl out. Like, I'm not going to tell you the name, but, there was a girl that I really liked at the time, and, I was so scared to even ask her on a date. And this is what I imagined if I asked her out on a date. Like, I wasn't even at the point where I was ready to ask her on a date. It was just a point, like me imagining what I would do if I asked her on a date.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's crazy though. You think about it, writing that song in the first place had a completely different meaning, but nobody would know that. Nobody would know that it didn't happen, like I thought for sure, like this is, your girlfriend for years or whatever. And so that's pretty interesting.
No, dude. That's what I love about music, man. It just has so many different meanings behind it. You can't even find it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So obviously you've got a lot of heartfelt songs in there, and you've got a lot of covers that you're doing. Talk to me a little bit more about your maybe more upbeat kind of party rock type of songs. Is there anything that you have in that adds a little bit of that other texture, we'll say, to your portfolio?
So I will let you know right away. We have a song coming out February 14th, and it's called Growing Up Too Fast, and that is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. And dude, when I tell you that this song has been with me by my side since I started music, and I wrote this song probably about 2 years ago, and it's just been one that never really was an option not to record. It was always one that was going to be there and be on the album when it happened, because this song was just something that I loved, and it was just has such a good topic on it.
Yeah. I think everybody can relate to that too. Growing up too fast, just in that title alone, a lot of people match themselves too. So it'll be fun for people to hear that song and, put their own spin on it, their own personal take on it. Right.
I mean, I got a little sample if you want to hear it.
If you got it. Sure. Absolutely.
Everywhere we want to go.
There you go. Fresh picked exclusive right there. How about that? So that song, when can we expect that song again?
February 14th.
Okay, there you go. Valentine's Day. I like it.
Ooh.
Look at that. There's got to be something promotionally that you can do there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But all right, so a cool song there, and yeah, definitely a great sound to it. So obviously, TikTok, a great platform for you. Instagram, a great platform for you as well. What else do you want? Is there anything else that you want listeners to know or people to know about you, about your music, where we can find it, or best way to maybe try to reach out to you?
You know, the best way to reach out to me is through my Instagram, probably. You know, I read almost all my messages on there, and TikTok, you can actually send me a message. I have my messages open. You can reach me through there too. But the best way to really contact me is through my Instagram or email, you know, on my website. So jonwaynehatfield.com.
Excellent. Well, Jon, we appreciate you joining us. And do you prefer Jon or Jon Wayne?
Man, it's up to you. It's up to you guys, really. I don't care what you call me.
We'll make it as long as we play the song, right?
No, man, it don't even matter about me. But you know, just like this past year, I've been called Jon Wayne, so it's kind of turning into that anyway.
Sure. I like it. Well, Jon Wayne Hatfield here joining us. And again, we appreciate you taking time to talk with us and look forward to seeing some success for you with your new album. When does that come out again?
So we're releasing one at a time, man. And you know, the plan is, you know, to have one out next month and then a month after probably. But leading up to a song called Strong Woman. And that's the song I can't wait to release.
Okay. So we'll be looking forward to that. Just following you on socials, we can get more info about that.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Appreciate you, buddy. And we'll talk with you soon, all right?
Hey, you have a good one.
You too, man. Fresh picked. There you go, Jon Wayne Hatfield.